that's very common. I mean, we all.
Here's the other flip side of this. Yeah. The flip side of it is when you're alone and you're trying to discuss it, it's much tougher. But when you're in a group, like let's say this, and somebody's one person I've never heard of it before, it's much easier to present it to them. It's much more comfortable. So I believe that when you're presenting, not only you're presenting by yourself, but you can have a group, because you're much more accustomed to being having a psychological social change with a group of society. In other words, if you go somewhere alone, you feel a little bit intimidated sometimes, standing up in front of a lot of people. But when you go to a whole group of people, you feel comfortable. So presenting something like this,
it's easy. Like I have, like that's when we come here, like we have each other's backs for a question. Like not all of us know everything. We come from different backgrounds, different perspectives. Now people have all sorts of questions. When you're in a group like this, someone may ask a question I have no idea about the answer, you probably can answer. You know, it's also where, you know, reinforcing each other. And then when he answers something, then I'll learn that from him. And then that way, next time I hear that question, that becomes a part of my answer.
That's right. The intellectual part, and as well as the actual comfortable part.
Yeah.
We may know everything about it. We all know much about it. But expressing it might be the hard part. Just because you know it.
You're absolutely right. I mean, my own personal transition into this, I discovered the Zeitgeist movement literally about a week before the addendum came out, and I watched the original, the first Zeitgeist movie, and it blew me away. And then a week later, the addendum came out, and that just like gave me a happy ending. Thank heavens. And then I joined. You know, I joined the thing, but it took me another year before I actually did something. Seth had started the chapter, and then I put together a film series. But it took me a year to put that together, and now, a year later, I finally contacted my entire 550 email people, and I said, okay, I'm coming out of the closet. I'm an active Zeitgeist coordinator. And then my family, good Lord, my family is like split. I tell you, I'm like, I talk about this one. My family's very upset at me. And yes, you're right, this is the process, but I'm becoming more and more absorbed in this information.
Comfortable.
I am very comfortable with it. I have to, I can't not speak about this. And sometimes I do upset people.
There's a difference between when you first saw it to the point when you understood it, and then there was this whole gap between until you're getting more and more comfortable over time.
Yeah. See, the good starting point is to start educating yourself. That happened to me. You know, I knew about you know, I knew about many things, but I just didn't know about many issues that were taking place and were hidden from me. You know. So I started to, for one, in my case, I disconnected my TV. I started watching TV almost 3 years now. And to be honest with you, I don't miss it. I read books, I read history, I read everything. And I'm becoming aware of a lot of stuff, so that gives me feedback to talk to people. And I get acquainted with what the movement is about, what the Venus Project is about. So when I engage people, you know, and the best approach, I think, is not to engage debate, you know, about, oh yeah, but, you know, your view, my view, or, you know, to antagonize. The best is to approach from the common denominator. I mean, what's common to me and you, you know? I mean, life, you know.
You talk about relation.
No, I'm talking about, you know, what's common.
What can we agree upon?
Commonality. Yeah, you know, right.
Relating.
Yes.
As human beings, you know, having water, having shelter, you know, having a high level of life, you know, that we can reach with technology, with these possibilities.
Quality of life.
Those are things that we have to.
There's another thing about this movement. There are certain things, actually, minor things, that I actually kind of disagree with a little. Okay? But to be honest, I haven't seen a better solution than what's offered here. And I mean, if somebody could present me with something better than this, I'd leave this and I'd go with that.
Me too.
Because I look at everything that I can There's a new movie just come about economic happiness, something about going local. And that's going to be very interesting to me. But this vision is global. It's saying, you know, we need a global community. We have to be a global family. And until
we just don't know it or
that
recognize it.
value structure, then we're going to kill ourselves, basically. Because competition, competing with each other, is killing us all.
So I don't know if you guys know, but there's a lot of groups out there. You know, besides the Zeitgeist movement, they're already becoming aware. They're waking up to the reality that they need to, you know, go back to local communities. They're doing it.
Yes.
Of course, in their own mindset, with their own beliefs, you know, but they're doing it because they recognize the fact that at this pace, within what's taking place right now, we're not going to go anywhere.
And the magnitude is
yes, we are away.
impact these days from what industry collectively as a whole does. So the reason why we see the Venus Project in a global resource-based economy as the most viable is that when you're going to be in a local community and 10 bombs go off, nuclear, you know, anyway, you can't do anything about it because then you're dead, you know. So what's the other alternative? You have to think on a higher level.
But thinking globally and acting locally is really the key. I'm studying these concepts to bring it to my local community. Like, for instance, the distribution of goods through a library type system, right?